paranormal, special guests, interviews, haunting stories, creatures of the unknown, and tales that will chill you to the bone. Brought to you by the UPRN Network and Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. Take a walk into the night with Shawn Kelly.
Hey everybody, good evening. How is everybody doing tonight? I want to come in and say happy St. Patrick's Day to you. I know it's Tuesday, St. Patty's Day is coming up this Thursday. So I'm looking forward to it. I finally got a day off. So maybe I'll, maybe go, I'm not to the bars because people are going to make, asses out of themselves. So I feel like, personally me, I think I'm just going to sit back and relax and watch some Irish music or listen to Irish music. Listen to like my favorite movie. My favorite movie is The Quiet Man by John Wayne. Has anybody ever seen that? I recommend highly that you go watch it. Okay, John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara in it, and it is so funny, and it's good. It's really good. So if I can give you one recommendation for a good Irish movie, it would be The Quiet Man, So I'm doing okay. It was like another tough week, but, on our last show, we were talking about the full moon, okay? And so, I was sitting there thinking, and I'm like, well, full moons, okay? And so I'm just like thinking that maybe because of the full moon, hey Joe, I'm gonna get out of here. Hold on. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, I had another window open from our last one, and I was listening to music, so I kind of figured out. I saw two StreamYards up there in the gray area. But back to what I was saying, a good Irish movie would be The Quiet Man, with Maureen O'Hara and John Wayne, and they did shoot the movie out there in Ireland, and it was good. It was about an American coming back to Ireland. He was a boxer, and he killed somebody in the ring, and his granddad or his father had a house over in Ireland. So, what? And of course, he meets Maureen O'Hara, and all Hades breaks loose between the families. So, like I said, that was a good movie to go to. Now, I want to talk a little bit about St. Patrick. Okay, last week, I told you a little bit about the man himself, where he was like the patron saint of Ireland back in the 5th century. And why they made him a saint was that at 16, he was captured by Irish raiders, and he was given to a priest. I want to say he was a Protestant priest. I don't know. I don't remember. But he then went back to Ireland, and he started to spread Christianity all through Ireland. And so he became the patron saint of Ireland. Now, to get back, got my notes here with me. So that's basically that with St. Patrick, doing. But I did a little bit more research about him and St. Patrick itself. And, back in 1861, there was the potato famine over in Ireland. were all the potato crops. They died. They had no potatoes. And I got my notes here that what happened, there was like 1 million people that um, died due to the phantom or whatever, fathom, whatever it was. And 2 million decided to leave Ireland and come to the United States. Okay. Now, when the Irish came over to New York, um, they weren't treated nice. Okay. Um, they always got the crappy jobs, building canals, working in the sewers for a little bit of money. Um, and so they weren't treated right. But I do want to jump back. The reason why, you know, a little bit about the war between Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland way back then was that Northern Ireland was held by the English, okay? And a lot of people think that it was caused by, well, actually the Protestants versus the Catholics. And when that fathom came along, um, the British, who were mainly Northern Ireland, would not help the people from Southern Ireland. And Northern Ireland were considered Protestants and the Southerns were considered Catholics. And so the war started back, I want to say the 1790s, 1800s, whatever year it was. If you want to, if I misquote something, please tell me about it. But what was sad was that when the Irish came over to America, okay, on the ships, on the boats, over, they ran into the same situation. They ran into where the Protestants were messing, they would fight with um, the Irish guys and women that came over. And, I was looking at some signs that they had, and uh, I remember seeing the one where it says brogue, not spoken here. If they knew you were Irish, they treated you like crap. Okay. They believed that the Irish were, what did it say? Uh, not not healthy. Um, Crazy. See, what's crazy about this is that I wrote these notes down, right? I wrote these notes down, and I cannot find what I wrote down, but I knew I wrote them down. So let's see. Bear with me, please. Okay. So, of course, um, I can't find them. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, in the U.S. in the 19th century, the Irish refugees were looked down upon as disease-ridden, unskilled, and what happened was it drained the welfare budgets of the people that were living in the States. And so people started to treat them really, really bad. I also read that the ancient order of Hibernians, at the time when the Irish came over and fight with the dudes from New York, and again, it was your Catholics versus your Protestants because there were a lot of Protestant Irish over there from Ireland. And so what happened was there was an order called the Ancient Order of Hibernians. And I found out that they were there to protect the churches because the Protestants would come around and start burning churches down. They would burn buildings down. Um, they and mistreat the Irish that came over. And I'm thinking, and I talk a lot about this, on my show about how people should, help people and, take care of each other, blah, 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 blah. But, to be treated like crap, you know what I mean? To be treated like that they didn't exist. They were just a body there. And, and it's sad. It's really, really sad. I don't know you know, how they survived. I don't know how they survived. And there are a lot of books out there about the Irish coming over from Ireland in the 1800s. And so they, they just weren't treated good. So in 1861, when they came over, okay, I got some stuff here, that I do want to believe. Read on. Okay, when they came over, it was the start of the Civil War. Okay. And in the Civil War, 150,000 Irishmen who were immigrants and not U.S. citizens joined the Union Army out of loyalty and patriotism and, quote, to end a anti-Irish discrimination, which means is, I'm going to join the Union Army and, then I won't be treated right. I'll be treated okay, Um, and so at the time, 1861, there were 3 infantry regiments from New York. They were the 63rd New York, the 69th, and the 88th Regiment. Now, they were hardcore fighting Irishmen. Okay, there's so much to read about them on the internet. But, I go to Gettysburg a lot. So, I have a deep meaning. In fact, I got their tattoo. See it right there? That's the cross that they have up there. It's not finished yet. But eventually they say, oh, okay. Yeah, there it is. And I just feel how can I say? I feel like I belong there, if you know what I mean. Every time I go up there and I go into the wheat field and I go into the peach orchard, and they got their butts kicked up there in Gettysburg, I just feel the overwhelming of sadness when I go through them. And I did an experiment one time. We were down in the wheat field, me and a friend of mine, we were down, and I got this CD, this Irish CD, and I don't know the name of it, but I know the Chieftains. It's an Irish group. It was their CD. And so I pulled my car up to the side of the wheat field, and so we're out there investigating. No K2 meters were being hit. There's no, nothing coming on video or audio or, regular pictures. And so I said, why don't I just try and put this CD in and play some Irish music? And so I did. And oh my God, it was like the whole wheat field just lit up in orbs. And it lit up in a lot of energy. Our K2s were going off. We were getting a lot of mist. We were getting a lot of orbs on our video. We were listening to like different voices on our EVPs. Couldn't understand what they were saying, but we it was real interesting for about 15 minutes, and that's all it lasted, was about 15 minutes. But it just felt like that you were brought back into July 2nd, 1863, down in the wheat field in the peach orchard. And so after the 15 minutes, everything quieted down. And, I figured being a paranormal investigator, I'd be all happy and stuff because I caught all this evidence. But you know what? I wasn't. I was sad. I was really sad. And so I just feel like I am part of that. Now, on these 3 infantries, they were like mainly, at the beginning of the war, at the Battle of Antietam, which is right down the road from Gettysburg, they lost 600 men, They were called the Fighting Irish. But here is a little tidbit from here's a little history about that. So they're at the Battle of Gettysburg, and it's the second day, and they're ready to go into a war. The battle with the Confederates down in the wheat field in the peach orchard, and they were given last rites by. I really wish I knew that. I was going to look up that father's name, but I didn't. I, being honest with you, I forgot about it. And so, um, as they were getting their last rites, they, what happened. But here's what's really, really crazy. That father, that priest that gave them their last rites, um, went to Notre Dame and became the chancellor of Notre Dame. And at that time, Notre Dame didn't have a mascot. So that priest that was there July 2nd, 1863, went to Notre Dame, and that's how Notre Dame became the Fighting Irish from July 2nd, 1863 in Gettysburg. I thought that was so cool. I had to share that with you, you know. But back to the Battle of Antietam, they lost 600 men. And so out of that 600 men, they went to Fredericksburg. And 545 of them more were killed. And so out of Gettysburg, when they went to get 530 men died. Over the water, during the Civil War. And it was like, like I said before, I'm very solemn about it. And I always make sure I go to their monument. And their monument is close to the wheat field. And they have an Irish wolfhound at the bottom of their monument. And what I like to do is I like to bring dog biscuits. Yeah, doggy biscuits. And I put one up there for the dog. And I also lay pennies down on the monument just in case they need something to take them home on the ferry, So I don't know. It's real. Um, it's real. I get lost, trying to come up with words. It's just a feeling of sadness when I go see that. But I always make a point that I go and see it and take some pictures. In fact, I'm going to have to look through my pictures, and if I find any, pictures of their monument, I'm going to put it up on my Facebook page, which is Shawn Kelly. And I'll put them up on the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society page too. And then you can actually see what was going on. How, by just looking at it, how beautiful the statue is. And, but the best experience is to go there and seek it out yourself. Now, in 1864, it was disbanded, the whole New York regiment, due to racist violence. Okay. So, in 1863, right after the Gettysburg, there was a draft riot. What was going on was that what was the name of the bill? It was called the Conscription Act, was passed in March. And what it was, any Irish male from the age of, I think it was 16 or 18, up to the age of 45, had to get drafted in the Union Army. And what was really bad about it, it was a lottery. You could have gone, you couldn't have gone, due to the lottery. But a lot of the Irish men rioted because it just seems like at the time that they were just sending the Irish and nobody else into the Civil War. And so the Irish, they rebelled and they started to beat up, African Americans. They started to beat up Protestants, and in 1864, the whole regiment was disbanded. And I didn't know that until right now. I didn't know that at all until I read it earlier today. So, coming from Ireland and over to the United States, it wasn't pleasant for the Irish people, you know. Um, and of course, they survived. They probably got crappy jobs, but you know what? They had a place to stay, even though they were treated like scum of the earth. But you know what? They survived. And I was born in Pittsburgh in the USA, and I am definitely American. But you know what? Well, how's it go? American by birth, but Irish by the grace of God, something like that. And so I'm proud of my heritage. I belong to that ancestry.com. And I have a lot of cousins over there in Ireland right now. And, that's on my bucket list is to go over to Ireland and visit them, maybe stay a week, something like that, whatever. But I would like to meet my second cousins, third cousins that I have over there. And hopefully, you know, make some communications with them and get to see and maybe take some pictures, whatever. If it is meant for me to be in Ireland before I die, then it will happen. You know, I'm not, dwelling on it. I'm just accepting it. But back to, we talked about St. Patrick. And, I got some things about St. Patty's Day. Okay. St. Patrick's Day was the patron saint of Ireland, where St. Patrick's Day was not, founded in Ireland, okay, but it was born in the USA. I didn't know that until I, did some research. That's why, in Chicago, they dye their rivers green for St. Patty's Day. That's interesting, huh? I have the Mon, I got the Ohio, and I got the Allegheny, and they don't dye our rivers. But that would be pretty cool just to check out the green rivers. I see the pictures on the internet and, on the news or whatever, but I think being there, that would be pretty cool. And with it just being green everything, milkshakes, bagels, even grapes, and beer, green beer. We talked about that on Chasing Prophecy earlier, drinking green beer. It's gross. It's regular beer with green color dye in it, but it's gross. It really is gross. And then you have a lot of your friends, a lot of people in the pubs and the bars, and they're, drinking their Guinness and then, saluting each other and cheering, and everyone's dancing and stuff like that. And it's like, I used to do that. I really did. I used to do all that crap stuff, but I don't really do it no more. And when you got the parades actually started here in the United States. St. Patrick's Day parade. They started in the United States, and Boston is claiming that they were the first. Yes, the celebration on March 17th, 1737. And what started it was that 2 dozen Presbyterians assisted distressed Irishmen, and that was pretty cool. But it's crazy that Boston stated claim to the first celebration on March 17, 1737. Um, 1631, St. Patrick's Day has been a religious feast in Ireland to commemorate the death of St. Patrick in the 5th century. Check this out. This is crazy. Blue, not green, was the traditional colour with Ireland, patron saint St. Patrick, prior to the 1798 Irish Rebellion. I'm going to have to do some more research on this stuff. I'm just reading off my notes. Um, so that's pretty crazy, right? So you see pictures of St. Patrick, all green, Ireland being green, gold, and white. As you can tell, I got the Irish flag here. And it's like the Celtic was blue. Is that insane? Oh my God, yeah, I think so. It is insane, you know? So all the things, all the festivals, all the parades, all the parties, like the step dancer, the bagpipers, the parade, the food, was all started here in the United States, not in Ireland, you know? So by researching this stuff today, it kind of like took me by surprise, knowing that was going, that I never knew that. And now I do, and I can actually do some more research on that. Um, but I was looking on the internet, and here is some 7 facts of St. Patrick in Ireland. The first one, that he was born in Britain. He was born in Britain. St. Patrick, the missionary, was born in Britain. That's craziness, right? Because at that time, England and Ireland were at war with each other. But St. Patrick, patron saint of Ireland, was actually born in Britain. There were no snakes around St. Patrick to banish from Ireland. That's a fact. Because it's cold, wet, and a lot of water. So there weren't really so many snakes. But I did a little bit of research, and I talked to our guest on Chasing Prophecy last week. And when they mean the snakes, they were talking about the Druids that were in Ireland. They wanted to get rid of the Druids, and not get rid of them, but they want to change them over into Christianity. And so St. Patrick was like, spreading, the word of Christianity in Ireland, and the Druids wouldn't listen. So they didn't want to listen to the Catholicism or Christianity at the time. So they went out, and they were, and they're not snakes. I'm not saying Druids are snakes or nothing like that. I'm just saying that's how they were portrayed in with St. Patrick driving out the snakes. So please, no disrespect to Druids out there. Let me see. Here we go. We talked about this too on the other show. Leprechauns are likely based on Celtic fairies. The original name, Lodbrisen, meaning small-bodied fellow. Listen, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say it right here, right now, on into the night. I'm going to say, I believe that there are leprechauns. I have no doubt. I believe that there are fairies out there, little fairies. And I've told you the stories before, on the past couple other shows. And they're there, and it would be so cool if I could actually meet one of them, just like how I want to meet an ET, an extraterrestrial, I mean, being with Chasing Prophecy for almost coming up on 2 years now, and we talk about fays and fairies and leprechauns and unicorns and Bigfoot and, all the other cryptids and UFOs and aliens. And I believe, yes, I do believe all that, but I would like to meet one. Anybody out there wants to meet one? Has anyone out there ever wanted to experience something like that? If you do, you can leave me a comment, in the chat room here, or else you can go to Pittsburgh Paranormal Society and send us a message, and we can get back to you on that. So that's what's really cool about it, that leprechauns do exist. I believe it wholeheartedly. There's so much out there in this world right now that people don't even know. In fact, I read something to where they're finding more different species of aquatic animals that no one ever saw or heard of before. So maybe one day, it'll all happen, that everything will come to light. But I still can't get over the fact that the color blue was like the color for St. Patrick. That just blows me away. Literally blows me away. Number 4, the shamrock was considered a sacred plant. Now, I like sacred plants. I like shamrocks. I think shamrocks are so cool. They're kind of hard to get here in Pittsburgh, but I'm sure. Hey, Howie, how are you? So, probably get some shamrocks and stuff like that. And I want to plant them, on my hillside that I have here, and just let them like cover the whole film, because I think they like grow everywhere like weeds, but I think they're kind of cute. I like, shamrocks, and I can understand why, to me, that they were a sacred plant, especially over in Ireland and that. See, there's like so much more that I need to look into and research, and hopefully I can get back down the road on some of this stuff. Hey, Nora, how are you, hon? Good to see you. Thank you for coming on. The first parade was held in America, like I told you before. It was held in Boston, and was it 1791? I said. Let's see. Yeah. What was it? Here's that thing I was telling you about, that the Irish were once scorned in America, and I'm glad to hear that you're doing good, Nora. The Irish were once scorned in America, and it had to do with the potato situation over there. And that is a fact, And then, what was the other? And here's the one that really, really blew me away. Okay. That corned beef and cabbage was an American innovation. Over in Ireland, they had ham and potatoes and cabbage, right? Ham and cabbage. But over here in the United States started the corned beef and cabbage. And the reason why, as I was reading a little bit more, I didn't write it down in my notes. But the reason being was, at the time, down in the lower end of Manhattan, where the Irish hung out, they were poor, and they didn't have a lot of money. So corned beef was a lot cheaper than ham. And so that's what they fed the Irish people down there in New York. So that's basically a little thing about that I did some research on, about St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. There is so much more about, learning more and more. But, eventually I would like to continue doing this like I do with my animals and stuff like that. So back to where I was doing okay. I am, they had to upper dose my anxiety medicine, and it's working so far. And I have to tell you, and I really forgot to tell you this at the beginning, but I really do pray for you. Um, and I think about you all the time. I do think of people, who are going through the same situations or even worse than me. You know, I think about you. I pray for you all the time, all the time. And, you know, and I know deep down in my heart, deep down in my heart, that it's all going to come out, that we're going to be okay one day. We're going to be okay. Life is going to be good. You know, I had so many bad days, a lot of bad days growing up and even now. But you know what? Every now and then when a good day pops up, I enjoy that good day. It might last a day, it might last a week, but I'm enjoying it. And eventually what happens, stuff happens and the other foot drops and it's not good. Um, and it's like the circle just keeps going and going and going to where I fall into, the bad situations that are occurring. But I'm telling you, um, whenever, like I said before, like whenever I, I'd eat corned beef and cured meat if I had during an apocalypse. Oh yeah, absolutely, Howie, definitely. In fact, we're saving up spam. We got a lot of spam. I like spam, but everything's going to be okay. Everything will be okay. Um, so, how's everybody doing tonight? Is everybody doing great? Are they looking forward to St. Patrick's Day? I believe that you're allowed to get drunk on St. Patrick's Day, but just please, 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 if you do decide to go out to a party or go to a bar, please don't drive. Please don't. Um, just go out and enjoy yourself. Have a designated driver. Um, if you have to take a bus, you know, um, do something that you are protected, you know, and don't drink so obsessively that you're just going to get sick and you'll be zonked out by 8 o'clock that night. And then that's when the party really gets kicking in, you know. But don't drive, and just have somebody with you. Give somebody your car keys. Make sure you're safe before you go out and do that. Um, and I really truly mean it. Oh, I forgot to say this too at the beginning. I had to get off the other thing was that Into the Night is on UPRN Radio 105.3 out of New Orleans. Sorry about that joke. And so I hope everyone, has a good St. Patrick's Day. What I'm going to do, there's a bar down there in the Strip District here in Pittsburgh, and it's called a Harp and Fiddle. Um, and that's where I think I'm going to go for a couple hours. My family goes down there, in the morning. We start at 9 o'clock. I don't drink. I am a recovering alcoholic, so I drink my iced teas and um, I just watch my cousins. It's like a little family reunion. And then all of a sudden, the Irish song musicians come in and they start playing, and my whole family's singing and laughing and having a good old time. I just sit back and look and watch and just talk to them, and I say to myself that I am so. So, what color do you wear? Green, orange, or now blue? Good question. I got my blue pineapple shirt that has a little bit of green in it there, Nora. I'll definitely wear my green, you know. I'll wear some green and like I was explaining to Nora, I don't know if you heard me at the beginning, but oh no, I never did say that. But it's funny, you go out on St. Patrick's Day and you see everybody, that's a day everybody can be Irish. And I'll never wear orange, Nora, never will I wear orange. Um, There's a reason behind that, and I'm not going to get into it, but that's my choice. Perfect thing that I can say about that. I won't wear the orange. But everyone is allowed to be Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Okay. That's so cool. And you go to these parties, you go to some Irish dancing, um, you know, Cayley dancing, they call it. You see all these people dressed up in green and white, and it's me, I'm Irish buttons and the little shamrocks all over their faces, and they look so cute and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, God bless you all. God bless you all, because if you look in the same room or at the same bar, okay, and you just see a guy or a girl there not wearing green, maybe a little bit of an Irish shamrock on their collar or whatever, and then you know that they're Irish. Because I know I'm Irish, and I don't. I love to get dressed up a long, long time ago, but the more older you get, the more you just like, I'll just keep it on the low side, maybe a green hat or something like that. But a lot of the people that you see there, that are plaid or brown or wearing wool, whatever, with not so much green and white on, um, 95% of the time they're just Irish people sitting back and enjoying the people who want to be Irish that day. You know, I have a story to tell you. One time. I went to a Cayley dancing. It's Irish folk dancing, and my son and my mom, they did it all the time. So the Cayley dancing, the club would go to some hotel and they'd have a big dance. And what was funny was, of course, there were a lot of people dressed up to the T. I mean, to the T. Oh my God, it was crazy. I mean, they got arms where you stick your whole arm on, and it's all Irish on both forearms. It's crazy. And so there was this couple, and they were fun. They were really fun. And and I'm thinking, I just got to go up and ask these people, their last name. Um, and I told them, I said, hi, my name is Shawn, blah, blah, blah. Is this your first time here? And, we started a little conversation. And I don't want to tell the name, but, they were definitely not, it wasn't an Irish name. It was another nationality. And I just smiled and I said, how does it feel to be Irish for one day? And they both smiled and they said, it is so, so fantastic. And I was like, that's cool. That's cool. And I sat down and I talked to them, and, and I met a friends that night. And that was like really, really cool, getting to meet people like that. But eventually one day I will, get to go over to Ireland for that. But we're at 43, so I got about 10 minutes left. So, is there anybody out there that have a question? Nora, I won't wear orange um, because it's a religious thing. That's the best I can say about it. Um, it's not that I don't condemn them. It's not that I don't like that part of Ireland. And I have the utmost respect for every religion out there, and to me, it's my own private choice not to wear orange, But as you can tell, I got my Irish flag behind me, and there's orange, white, and green, Nora, let me ask you this question. I'm going to give you or anybody listening else into the show. Okay, I saw this on a bumper sticker. Okay, see who knows the answer. See if you can get this. Okay, 26 plus 6 equals 1. I'll let you all figure that out. 26 plus 6 equals 1. I'm glad you know that your foster dad told you about it. It runs deep in the Irish roots here in my family too, you know. So I guess you can say I was raised with it. But you know what, Nora? As time went on, and the more I started to respect people, you know, my mind changed. Um, and I started accepting people for who they were. I accepted their religion and whatever they believed in, you know, and it made me feel good about myself, you know. But that's where I'm at with your question on there, Nora. But blue, ain't that crazy though? Blue for St. Patrick, that's craziness, man. It was actually blue. I still can't get that one out of my head, you know. So I hope everybody enjoys their St. Patrick's Day. And I hope everybody drives really, really safe. I hope there's no issues, but having a lot of fun. And that's what St. Patrick's Day is about, is having fun. You know, I know I'll have a couple hours with my family down there, and I know I'm going to have fun. So, like I'm coming up on the segment to where I'm gonna talk about my medicine cards, okay? And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up my book. It's the medicine cards. Some people claim it's tarot. Some people say it don't. I don't believe it is. My personal opinion, why the medicine cards is good for me and is good for my clients, because it has beautiful artistic work on them, first of all. Second of all, they do have type of definitions for them, but people feel more relaxed about it. They feel more relaxed when they're actually getting a reading from the medicine cards. And that's why I use these, that's why they use these cards. So I'm going to open up my book. See, there it is, the medicine cards, and I'm going to close my eyes. Okay, and I'm going to pick an animal. What do we got? We have the horse, as you can tell. See, there's the horse that I choose. Now, and it's just not. That's the animal that I choose tonight. Through the book, because it was probably what had to be picked up. Maybe it's the reason why I'm saying it was a horse that was drawn to me, or by the book, because maybe there's somebody out there that needs the message for this horse, and not, whatever animal that you come across during the day, what I suggest is that you Google that animal, like you saw a cat, all right, and then, or a rabbit. We'll go rabbit, right? And then you Google rabbit, and why is it what rabbit spiritual meaning? And whenever you Google that rabbit with the spiritual meaning, you have to read what it has to say. And more than likely, I'd say 99.9% of the time, it's more the message that you receive from that animal is going to be crazy, and something to do with your life. Something, reading the definition, it's like, maybe I got to listen to the rabbit a little bit more, or maybe I have to be more aware of what's going around in my surroundings. Yeah. But you don't just do that with the rabbit. You can do it with the birds. You can do it with horses, cows, mules, wolves, tigers, whatever. There's a lot of animals out there. And before I go on, there is a book out there, and the author is Ted Andrews, and his book is called Animal Speak. And it's a bigger book than this, but it has every animal and the meanings behind what that animal is in your life for. So, with the horse that I drew today, I'm going to read a little bit of it. Um, the horse is power. Okay. Uh, Stealing horses is stealing power was a statement in a national Native American reference to extreme roles which horse played in the native cultures. Um, let's see here. Uh, Here's the story behind it. Medicine Man was walking across the plains to visit the Arapaho Nation, who carried with him his pipe. A feather tied to a long black hair pointed to the ground, marking him as man of peace. Over the rise, the dreamwalker saw it held, and how Dreamwalker saw a herd of wild mustangs running toward him. The black stallion approached him and asked him if he was seeking an answer on his journey. The black stallion said, I am the void where answer lives. Ride on my back and know the power of entering the darkness and finding the light. And I just got I got really good chills on that. The yellow stallion approached the dreamwalker next and offered to take him to the east, where illumination lives. Once again, Dreamwalker thanked the yellow stallion, and he would use the gifts to power up his journey. And the red stallion approached, rarely playfully, and told the Dreamwalker of the joys of balancing work and heavy medicine with the joyful experience of pay. He reminded Dreamwalker that he could better hold the attention of those he taught when humor was integrated with the lesson. And so Dreamwalker was nearing his destination. The Aparo Nation was close at hand, and the white stallion came in front of the herd. Dreamwalker mounted the white stallion's back. White Stallion was the message carrier for all the other horses and represented wisdom and power. This magnificent horse was the embodiment of the balanced medicine shield. No abuse of power will ever lead to wisdom. Let me read that again. No abuse of power will ever lead to wisdom, said the white stallion. You, Dreamwalker, have made this journey to heal a brother in need, to share the sacred pipe, and to heal the Mother Earth. You have the knowledge through humility, and you are the instrument of great spirit. As I carry you upon my back, you carry the needs of the people on yours. In wisdom, you understand that power is not given lightly, but awarded to those who are willing to carry responsibility in a balanced manner. That is such a cool story, you know? And, basically what I read out of that was that, whenever, you're on a journey with something and you're in dream time and the horse appears to you, okay, the horse means, wisdom and long journeys and stuff like that. Listen to the horse, if you're in a dream or if you're meditating and the horse comes to you, listen to the horse and it will give you the answer that you seek. But it is getting close time for me to end the show. I want to thank everybody listening tonight, people who came into the room and listened to the show. Again, I want to wish you a happy St. Patrick's Day, and please, everybody, be safe. And please, if you all could do me a favor, the parents, please hug your children and tell them that you love them. And children, please hug your parents and tell them that you love them. It will go far, far, far. It will go so far that it will just go far. So on that note, happy St. Patrick's Day. Good night and happy hunting. Bye now.